you surprised by these quotes from Tom Brady?
You know, the one thing that Tom Brady knows, having been in this position so many times before, is that with all the media, even though it's not like it normally would be, Skip, but they're on this virtual call. And the last thing he wants to do to make it about something other than the game itself.
Agreed.
He knows anything that he says about Coach Belichick, now all of a sudden that trumps the Super Bowl. That trumps his preparation for the Super Bowl. So for me, he's like, we had a great relationship. They had a great player-coach relationship. That was, let me take that back. They had a great working relationship. That's the extent of their relationship, and I don't have a problem with that. But this notion that, oh, yeah, we were cool, because that's not what the reports that we got coming out of there from time to time, is that he wondered why he didn't have a better relationship other than player-coach relationship with Coach Belichick. So Tom Brady, look, Tom Brady is the master of moving his mouth and saying absolutely nothing. We've come to expect that from him. So I didn't expect him to give, it wouldn't be bulletin board, but I didn't expect him to give any fodder to anything that all of a sudden Tom Brady, if he'd have, I mean, it was okay. He knows anything that he says other than we had a great working relationship was going to be the news of the Super Bowl. And now all of a sudden we're not talking about Kansas City, Tampa. We're talking about Tom Brady's relationship with Coach Belichick.
I got it. Quick aside before I unleash on this topic. You used the word Trump, lowercase t, as in tops this, right? As a synonym for tops. and I want to use it sometimes on the show, and I just bite my lip because now that word has such negative connotations that people, what do you say?
It does.
It trumps the, well, how do you mean that? Right? Okay. So when you said it, I was like, oh, whoa. But it's still, the word works.
Right.
With the lowercase t.
Lowercase.
Okay, got it. I believe that Tom believes everything he said yesterday about Bill Belichick. He's not just, he's not telling you the rest of the story.
Right.
Because I do believe he is completely, he says, incredible coach, mentor, and that he's incredibly grateful for everything he learned from Bill Belichick.
I believe that.
He is. He's smart. He gets it. He was blessed to be able to learn under him for a couple of years, until Belichick started to grate on him, just the way he grates on everybody else. And remember, Matthew Stafford reportedly said, there's only one place I won't go, and it's that place. Because for 19 years, it feels to me like Tom Brady had to win in spite of Bill Belichick. He benefited, obviously, as you talked about, from the defenses that have been routinely top 10 kind of defense, sometimes top 5. He definitely benefited from a masterpiece of a master plan against the greatest show on turf in the first Super Bowl. So I'm going to give you that one. But in general, Brady spent 19 years having to be the good cop in the locker room saying, it's okay, swallow it, just ignore it. It's just the way he is, because Belichick can be just an incredibly sour tyrant, dictatorial, and he was getting away with being an old school coach in a new era when Shannon Sharp's going to say no to that.
Because he was winning, Skip. It is hard. People don't understand. Yeah, you can love your job. Tom Brady loves his job, but that doesn't necessarily mean I got to love my boss because he makes my job. I love the job, but I just hate seeing you while I'm on the job.
That is correct.
And Coach, this is what I think the biggest thing is that Tom Brady says, yes, I'm grateful for Coach Belichick, but he damn sure better be grateful for Tom Brady, too. And I don't think that gets enough. He says, oh, Tom, he did this for Tom. He did that for Tom. Tom was like, well, what the hell I do for him? Do you know what he was in Cleveland before me? Do you know what he was in New England before me? So how about I get some credit? You keep talking about what he did for me. What the hell did I do for him?
Okay. So when Tom said, I have a great relationship with him.
Yeah, I'm here, you're there.
No, I'm not going that far. If they happen to run into each other in public, would they shake hands? Yeah, they'd shake hands.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Would they might even give a quick little hug?
Yeah, how you doing? How you
half
doing?
hug?
How you doing, Tom? How's Giselle? Yeah, hey, Coach, how's Linda? Yeah, the family good.
That kind of thing.
I see you.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Make me sick.
Okay, because this whole week for Tom Brady is about Belichick. Deep down, he is driven to show that he was wrong to push Tom out.
We got a great relationship. Our relationship's so great. I'm here. He's not. How that working? Hey, you were right, Coach. I couldn't play anymore. I couldn't play for you no more. You had all these shopping for the groceries. They ain't restocked the shelves in months and wonder why I was looking like I was looking.
So Brady's game plan going into every Super Bowl is to try to say as little as possible.
Yes.
Don't distract from the team goal.
Correct.
He's all about the team goal, and all that matters is winning the Super Bowl, because if you win it, it speaks for itself.
Yes.
He doesn't need to rub it in. He doesn't need to take his verbal pound of flesh from Belichick during the week or after the game.
But sports might be the only sports might be the only time that people ask you, what's your relationship like with your ex?
Yep.
But what's your relationship? Bro, we broke up. That's the relationship like. We broke up.
Yep. So I have argued with you for 4 years on this show, going on 5, that Brady was 75% of the reason for the dynasty.
Yes.
I'm now starting to think it was more like 80 or 85%.
Before he win the Super Bowl, you're going to have it 90-10.
I might have it 9-10. And I think it's worth listening one more time to Danny Amendola yesterday on First Things First, ahead of, obviously, Undisputed, because he unloaded on Belichick, if we could hear it.
Do you think it's going to be harder for Belichick to get them to buy in when Tom's not there and they haven't all experienced the deep playoff runs?
Well, first things first, and when you see Patriot Way in the dictionary, it's going to have Tom Brady's name next to it. None of those coaches threw any passes. None of those coaches caught any passes. None of those coaches made any tackles. They got guys in the right position because they watch a lot of film and they spend all their time at the facility. But Tom Brady is the Patriot way, and that's the reason why Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl right now, and the Patriots aren't.
That little angry, Skip.
He's a little angry, but I think he spoke it straight.
Oh, he spoke it
from the heart.
straight. Yeah. Oh, no question.
Now,
He told the truth because, like I said, he's a little angry.
That is correct. Danny Amendola loves Tom Brady.
Yes.
He caught a lot of big clutch passes. He was as clutch a receiver. He might have been beyond Edelman for making big clutch catches.
He might have caught the game winner against Seattle. I thought he might have caught the option route.
Okay, he did. He could throw it and he could catch it. So the point is, that was stored up in him. He had planned to say that, obviously. That wasn't off the top of his head. That was, he had already decided to say, well, first things first.
He was hoping that they ask him this question.
Something that remotely would allow him to answer it this way. And so he unleashed on Belichick because he believes that Tom set the culture.
Right.
That Tom sort of invented, created, and furthered the Patriot way in New England more than anybody on the coaching staff did, especially the head coach.
Right.
So he got run out of town, too, by Bill Belichick.
After they made him take year and year of pay cut after pay cut after pay cut, he's like, nah, I'm gone now. I ain't taking no more pay cuts.
I'm done. So in the end, I told you that Brady said, okay, I'll take my football and go elsewhere. And I'll go to Tampa because they're loaded, but they went 7-9, and they're just in need of leadership. They need somebody to show them how to do it. I'm going to show them on the fly with virtual OTAs and no preseason games, and maybe we can get it together quickly enough just in time for the playoff run. And they had December to remember because he brought them to a boil, and he has created Patriot Way in Tampa Bay.
Right.
And it's a joy for me to watch it because it shows you that Brady was the architect of it because he just transferred what he created in New England to Tampa.
Yeah, Skip, you can have, look, even military, everybody has a ethos, a creed, or code in which they follow. But if you don't have strong people that's underneath to protect that ethos or that code or that creed, to implement it, that's what Tom Brady. Now, Coach Belichick might have wrote it on the way, do your job, and 1, 2, do your job, and this is be time, and put team first. All that's fine and good. It's great written on the paper or the blackboard or however you got it wrote. But if you don't have a guy in there that can implement that and says, okay, guys, this is how it needs to be, and it needs to be your best player. If you can get that guy, they'll follow him to the moon and back.
All right. Which is why I believe Bill Belichick is getting exposed, not so much as a coach, but as a team builder because he buys the groceries, right?
Right.
He's bought lousy groceries, and Tom Brady made them taste a little better than they deserve to taste.
Well, Skip, it was working, but now you can't get away with that. It's kind of like college football. You remember how Coach Saban used to like, we're going to run the football, we're going to play lights out defense. Well, the teams that wasn't playing lights out defense, they was hanging 50 and 60 points on his defense with an offense. So what he did is, okay, y'all want to play it like this?
Okay,
Well, let
we'll
me
do it. Yep.
I'm going to go get me some guys that can throw it and catch it.
Okay.
And we'll be okay on defense, but we're going to average 50 on offense, and I'm going to win me another national title. Coach Belichick's going to have to change his way of thinking. The days of you saying, I'm going to shut somebody down and hold them to 10, 12 points,
Yep.
ain't happening.
Nope.
Ooh.
Way to go, Tom.
A lot of guests on this show.
Certain players, the situation that they're drafted into, it's not their fault. It can make or break. And in Matt Stafford's case, he was unfortunate enough to be drafted by the Detroit Lions and really had no help. You think about his great receiver that I think should go on, will probably one good day go in the Hall of Fame, Calvin Johnson. He retired because, look, he said, they're not about winning. Okay, Barry Sanders, the same thing. I mean, so, I don't think it's Matt Stafford's fault, but I really believe that he's the missing ingredient that